Hey, welcome to Annie's Story Time. I do this to show you that reading is not always boring. It can be fun. So I hope you enjoy this story. If you've listened to some of my other stories, I hope you like this one too. And thanks for coming back. And if it's your first time and you like it, listen to some of the other ones that I read. They're all here online on my YouTube page. Anyway, this is Alphabet Soup, and it is a feast of letters. Alphabet. That's what the letters are, the alphabet. So Scott Gustafson wrote this story. He's also the illustrator of this book. That means he's wrote the words and did all the pictures. When he wrote this book, he was thinking about his parents, Dorothy and Maynard. So they were who were on his mind when he came up with this story. Otter had just moved into his new house. It was empty. Here's Otter. It was empty except for some dust and a big old soup pot. Well, I should have a housewarming party, he thought. But what will I serve? But then Otter had this great idea. Soon he was sitting on the floor writing invitations to 26 of his closest friends. Dear friends, please come to my house for a potluck party. I have a pot, and if I'm lucky, you will all bring ingredients for soup. If you don't have food that's soup worthy, then just bring food that you like and come as you are, your friend Otter. And then he goes and mails all these letters to his 26 friends. And this is who came: Armadillo and Asparagus. This is an armadillo. Armadillo was an award winning archer who aimed asparagus arrows into the pot. Look at that. He shot them right into that soup pot when he got there. Bear and Bread. Bear was the very best baker who baked the most beautiful breads. Braided bread and brown bran muffins, buttermilk biscuits, and buttery buns. All these were bundled into big baskets and brought to the banquet by Bear. There was a lot of bees in that. We've got braided breads, brown bran muffins, buttermilk biscuits, buttery buns. They were all bundled and brought to the banquet with Bear. All those B words. So sometimes I might mess up, but I'll just go back and fix it and reread it. Cricket's cracker crane. Cricket chirped cheerfully as his crane chugged with its load of crackers for the chef. Now, the bread and the crackers, you wouldn't put that in the soup, but they brought them because they sure do go good with soup. Dragon and desserts, that's for the D. Dragon didn't do dinner, so he delivered dozens of delicious desserts instead. And look at those desserts. That makes my mouth kind of watery now. Nothing like a good dessert. So now we're up to E. Elephant and eggplants. Elephant enjoyed eggplants, which he carried in the folds of his elegant ears. Look at him carrying the eggplants, because elephants have those big ears that, well, he's got eggplants tucked into them. That's how he's carrying, and one in his snout, in his nose. A, B, C, D, E, F. Frog fixed flapjacks. Frog had a flair for flapjacks, which he flipped and flopped in the frying pan. So he brought flapjacks to go with the soup. Gibbon's garlic gardens for G. Gibbon's gift was garlic, which he gathered from his garden in a golden goblet. So he brought a golden goblet full of garlic. Garlic goes good in soup. It gives it a really good flavor. H. Hedgehog's herbs. Hedgehog hooted his horn while he hula hooped. He also held his herbs in his high hat. So that was a lot of H's. We have hedgehog, hooted, horn, hula hooped. He held herbs in his high hat. Herbs and spices go in a soup, so that's good too. I. Inspector Ibex. That's an ibex. Ibex insisted on inspecting all the ingredients before they went into the soup. Now, he just wanted to make sure everything was just right before it went in there. So he's got his magnifying glass. carrots and broccoli there, I see. We have the pot, and it's starting to simmer. It's got the water and herbs and asparagus and garlic in it. Now, Jaguar for J. Jaguar jams and jellies. Jars just jam-packed with jams and jellies were jauntily juggled by a jolly jaguar. That's like a tongue twister. I could not read that 4 times fast. Then we go to K. Koala was kind of kooky in a kerchief. She kept kumquats, ketchup, and krill. That stuff they're going to go ahead and put in the soup too. Now the jellies would go really good with the breads and the crackers. Oh my goodness. But we're going to put the kumquats, the ketchup, and the krill in the soup. L. Lion's lentils. And lentils, I think, are like little peas, like beans. Lighthouse Lion licked his lips and laughed. I love lentils. Loads and loads of them. And people put lentils in soup. So, we're getting a pretty good soup going on here. Lighthouse, lantern, lion, lentils, all that else. L. M. Mole's mushroom mine. So there's an M. And there's the mole. And that's his mine, because you can see a mine cart. Mole mines marvelous mushrooms. Says he. Methinks a meal's a mess without 'em. So Mole doesn't think that a meal is a meal unless it has mushrooms. So he's making sure to bring plenty of them. A whole cart of them. N. Newt's noodle net. Newt was a nearby neighbor who brought a net full of 99 noodles. There's 99 noodles in there. And we all know noodles go good in soup. So let's see who's going to come next. Oh, Owl, onions, and okra. Owl offered oodles of onions and okra and hooted out opera as well. Hello, I am here. I have oodles of okra and onions. So that's the owl. LMNOP. P. Pigs, potatoes, parsnips, and peas. Pig was a pig was a princely porker who proudly paraded his platter of potatoes, parsnips, and peas. See, we have potatoes, parsnip, and peas, and all that goes in soup. Really, really good. And after that, we have Q, and look at him. He's proudly prancing and parading. Next, we have quail and quinces. There's a quail. Quail is a bird. It's kind of a bird. A quart of quality quinces was carried by Quinella, queen of the quails. See, she's got on her crown, but she's carrying her, what are those things? Quinces. I don't know what a quince is, but it looks kind of like a pear. It's got to be a mixture between a pear and something else. Let's go to the R. He's got all kinds of friends, doesn't he? Reptiles, rutabagas. That's for R. Rutabagas roasted ranch style was the recipe of a rough-riding, rip-roaring reptile. So he's got rutabagas, and he brought them ranch style. Wow. And ranch, see, because he's like a rodeo, like a cowboy. And squirrel salad. There's the little squirrel. I don't like squirrels. Squirrel stuffed his ship full of scallions, spinach, seasonings, and so on. Then he set sail in a salad bowl. He put all that in the bowl, and he's put it in a salad bowl, and most of that stuff goes in the soup, along with the rutabagas. Sounds like we're getting a really good vegetable soup going on here. So we've got R-S-T. Tiger's things. What did Tiger bring? Tiger had a truckload of things. He had a table, a toaster, teacups, toothpicks, and a teapot. Because remember, Otter just moved into an empty house. They have to have something to eat with and eat it on. So he brought all that stuff. Table, tea, toaster with the tea, teacups, toothpicks, and the teapot and the table. So he's got it all there. Ooh, unicorn right there. And utensils. You need to have things to make the soup with. Unicorn, upon his unicycle, carried unusual yet very useful utensils in an upside down umbrella. He opened up his umbrella and carried all that in there. That was quite clever. So let's go to V. Vegetables via Volée. Vegetables have vital vitamins, said Volée, and I've got a vast variety available in my violin case. So we put all those vegetables with a V. And I think his name is Volée. That's what I'm going to call him, via Volée. But he put them all in his violin case. Vegetables. This is going to be a hearty vegetable soup. UVW, Weasel's Wieners. Wonderful wieners walked the wings of Weasel's wizard wagon as he entered with a whoosh of a whirlwind. He's got these wieners, which are hot dogs, right here, up here on the wings of his wizard wagon. And then he came in the door and went whoosh, with a whirlwind. Whoosh. And then ox, and Oxphilia extract. Exported for Xanadu by one extraordinary ox, the excellent extracts of the xylopa fruit, I guess it's xylopa fruit, made a mixture exciting and exotic. So ox took the extracts, which is the juice when you squeeze that xylopa, and squeezed it, and it made into a like an oil, like the way vanilla is, where you can put a little bit of vanilla in cookies and stuff. It tastes good. Well, ox brought this Exolia extract to add to the soup. It's going to give it a delicious flavor. And I guess those are little like beans that are squeezed, and you get the juice out of it. Why? This is for yak and yams. Yippee! Yahoo! Yodeled the yellow yak. These yams are yum, yum, yummy. There he is. I don't know if it's he or she, but they're happy. Yippee! Yahoo! Yodeled that yellow yak. Yams are yummy. They're yum, yum, yummy. I used to not like them. And then I tried them a different way, and I waited a little while, and, I got a little older, and I tried them again. And then come to find out, I like them now. And then we have zebra and zucchini. A zesty, zippy zucchini is exactly what the zoop needs, said Zebra as he dropped one into the pot. So and when I say z, that's because he's the Z. A zesty, zippy zucchini is exactly, not exactly, but he says exactly what we need, what the soup needs, said Zebra. And he just dropped one right into that cooking pot. That's a pretty zebra. As the pot full of ingredients simmered on the stove, Otter and his guests, they laughed and played party games. Finally, it was time for someone to taste the soup. They all held their breath while Otter sampled a spoonful. How would it taste? Was it going to be okay? Good. They're all watching. It's delicious, said Otter. Everyone eat. And so they did. The animals had lots of fun eating the soup that they had all helped to make. But no one had more fun than Otter, because his old friend made his new house feel like home. And that is the end of that story. In that empty house that when he first moved into, that, it was all new and just really didn't know what to think. It felt like home after all his friends came, and he invited them. They had that meal, and it just made that house all warm and full. And they all had a good time. If you like reading books, you know, I got this one at Goodwill. That's what this thing says. I paid $1.51 for that. You can get books at Goodwill, Salvation Army, thriftbooks.com. If you said, I want this book, you have someone go to thriftbooks.com, put in alphabet soup, a feast of letters, and if they have this book, they can get it. They can mail it right to you. But anyway, it's always good. Keep your eye out at yard sales. Kids often complain, you young children, that I don't want to read. I don't want to read. It's so boring. Don't let it be boring. Make it fun. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Madeline, Mediddlin, Hash Brown, and Jumping Jack, thanks for looking at Ganny's stories. That's a kiss for you. A hug for everybody else. Everyone have a good night. Sweet dreams. And until next time.